Hi my friends, in this video you will experience data science. You will go through the top 5 data science techniques to convert data into powerful insights. Now this is going to be a hands-on and a code-free experience. You will use the channel's website experiencedatascience.com. This website will help you experience data science in the most easiest way and without any need to code nor make any software installations. The link is in the description below. You do not need any prior knowledge of data science, neither you need any programming skills. What you need is just good mood and a curious mindset. You will first start by setting up some data, and then you will experience the top 5 techniques to convert data into powerful insights. You will be then given a test your knowledge exercise, and the last section will reveal the answers to the test. So friends, let's get started. In this step, you will be setting up the data which we will be using in the experience. We'll be using 2 data sets. The first one is related to cars. So all the demonstrations will be done using this data set. And the second data set is on video game sales. And you will use this data set to test your knowledge. Now let us first set up this data set using the website experiencedatascience.com. So go to this website. You can start by logging in, and this will require a Gmail account. Once you are logged in, go to play datasets and locate this dataset which is called as play_cars_data.csv. So this dataset has all the data related to the technical characteristic of a car. So select it and then copy it to your data. After a short while, you will see a success message. And now you can go to your datasets and you will see this data set of cars which is now available for you. Now let us see what is inside this data. So select it and then click Analytics. Select Data Display. So this is going to show us on what data is inside this cars data set. And let us say we want to see the first 10 records to have an idea on what this data set is all about. You'll also see a list of columns, so select all the columns. In the option Output Privacy Setting, just select Shareable. Now click Run, and in a short while you will be able to see a sample of the data. So as you can see that this data has got different information related to different cars. You have the make of the car, you have different technical characteristics such as the fuel type, the number of doors, height, weight, etc. As well as you have the price of the car. So now our data set is set up, and let us now go into the next step where we will be converting this data into very powerful insights. In this step, you will make an histogram. Now histograms are very useful to find the most common occurring values. So let's say we want to find out what is the most common value of price in our cars data set. So histogram algorithm will take the lowest price and the highest price and then divide it into equal ranges called bins. The number of bins is automatically and intelligently determined by the histogram algorithm. And then it will assign each car to a bin based on its price. The bin which has got most of the car is the bin with the most common price range. Now let us see this in action. So please make sure that you are logged in, and then go ahead and select your data sets. Here you will see the cars data set which was earlier set up. So select it and then select Analytics. Now go ahead and select histogram. You will see a list of numeric columns which are available in the data. So here we'll select price as we want an histogram for the price. You can also select make of the car as a tooltip, as this will allow us to know which cars fall into the common price range. You can keep the privacy option as shareable. Now let's run this, and in a while you will see an histogram. You will see that the most common range of price is between 5,000 and 10,000. Now this is very useful insight to have, and we have obtained this without writing a single line of code. You can also hover over the bar to find out which cars fall into this range. Alright my friends, now let's go to the next step. In this step you will do Pareto analysis. Now this is also called as the 80-20 rule. So let's say you want to find out what is the price point for 80% of the cars. Now this is a very interesting question to ask, and Pareto analysis will help us answer this question. Pareto analysis will give you a visualization between percentage of the car, which is essentially a cumulative percentage, and the price of the car. You can then locate the price point for 80% of the cars. Now let us see this in action using the experiencedatascience.com platform. So go to your datasets and then select the cars datasets and then select analytics. So from the list shown, go ahead and select Pareto analysis. You will see a list of numeric columns which are available in the data. So select price because we want to see an 80-20 rule for the price of the car. You can keep the privacy option as shareable and then click run. In a short while you will be able to see the Pareto analysis. So this is a visualization between the cumulative percentage of the cars and the price of the cars. And then you can locate the price point for 80% of the cars, and you will see that 80% of the cars are below 17,000. So this is a very interesting insight, and we obtained it with just a few clicks. So now let's move to the next insight. In this step, we will take the red pill and make a correlation matrix. Correlation helps to see if there are any relation between two fields. So for example, the length of the car and width of the car are related. As length increases, so does the width. And correlation matrix takes the calculations to the next level. The correlation value is indicated by a color, the darker color indicating high correlation. And the correlation matrix will give you an overview of all the numerical fields in the data. Now let us enter the matrix using the platform experiencedatascience.com. Select the cars data set and select analytics. Locate the correlation matrix and select it. You will see a list of numeric columns. So go ahead and select all the columns. Keep the privacy setting as shareable. Run the analytics, and in a while you will see the correlation matrix. Let us first increase the size of the text so that it is more visible. Now let us analyze the correlation matrix. So we see a dark red in the cell for length and width of the car, indicating a strong correlation between these two fields. You can hover over the fields also to see the exact value of correlation. Values which are close to 1, in this case 0.84, is an indication of high correlation. We can also observe colors of other cells such as the number of doors and width of the car. This is a very light color indicating a very less correlation between the two fields. So correlation matrix is a very good visualization to look at, and you can make it more attractive also by changing the colors. Alright my friends, let us now move to the next exciting insight. In this step we will do outlier analysis. Outlier means extreme or unusual values. And one of the simplest way to analyze outlier is using a box plot. So let's say you have a numeric column for which all the values are shown as dots and are arranged from the lowest value to the highest value. Box plot will put a box where most of the values are situated, and then it will put a left and a right vertical line. All the points which are outside this vertical lines are outliers or extreme values. In this example, we have one outlier on the lower side indicating extreme low value and two outliers on the higher side indicating extreme high values. Now friends, let's see this in action using experiencedatascience.com. So go ahead and select the cars datasets and then select analytics. In the list of analytics, go to the outlier section and select the outlier for a numeric column. You'll see a list of numeric fields. So let's say we want to find out outliers in the price of the car. So select price, and then in the privacy settings select shareable and then click run. In a short while you'll see a box plot. Each dot is representing a price of the car. You'll also see the vertical lines. You can try to locate the outliers which are outside the vertical lines. On the left hand side you have some prices as 0. Now this is really unusual as no car has got 0 value, and possibly this means that there is some kind of missing price values in the data. And on the higher side you see price values which are unusually very high compared to others. So outlier analysis is really powerful as it helps you to find unusual values or errors in the data. So my friends, let's now move to the next insight. Alright my friends, so in this step we will do clustering. Clustering will allow us to make groups or clusters of similar things. And in our data we have almost about 200 cards and about 25 fields. So we will use clustering to make groups of similar cards. And in order to do so, we'll have to decide on three things. The first is which columns out of the 25 columns would you select. Now let's say we want to group clusters based on technical criteria. So we will select columns which represent technical characteristics of the car, such as the length of the car, the width of the car, the engine size, etc., etc. And we will leave out the columns such as the price, the make or brand name of the car, because these fields do not represent the technical characteristic of a car. The second is the number of clusters to make, and we will try to make 3 clusters. And the third is on how to visualize the clusters. The output of clustering is a scatter plot. And now in order that the clusters are clearly visible, we will use data science technique called decision tree, which will automatically choose the columns X and Y axis for us. Now let us see all this in action on experiencedatascience.com. So first select the data set and then select analytics. You'll see a list of analytics. So go down to clustering and select it. You'll see a list of columns. So select only those columns which represent the technical characteristic of a car. So we will leave out the columns such as the ID, the make or price of the car. Now let us select 3 as number of clusters. For visualization, we will select auto decision tree for both X and Y axis of the scatter plot. And let us keep the shareable as our output privacy setting. Now you can click run, and in a short while you will be able to see the result of clustering. So each dot on this scatter plot represents a car. So we see 3 clusters. We see the blue cluster, we see the red cluster, we see the green cluster. The X and Y axis of the scatter plot, which is here the curve weight and the engine size, have been automatically chosen so that the clusters are clearly visible. Now let us hover over these dots to see the details of the car. So for example, let us hover over this blue dot over here, which is for a Toyota. Now let us see also some other cars in the red cluster, and here we see that this is an Alfa Romeo. And let us hover over the green cluster, and here we see a Mercedes-Benz. So once again you see all these brand names of the car, but these brand names are only for visualization purposes. They have not been chosen for clustering because we have taken only the technical characteristic of the car to make the clusters, and we have left out the brand name and the price and other details. So let us now try to interpret what these clusters mean. So our blue cluster is for the cars with small weight and small engine size such as a Toyota. The red cluster is for the cars with medium weight and medium engine size such as an Alfa Romeo. And the green cluster is for cars with high weight and high engine size such as a Mercedes-Benz. So my friends, we have obtained all these interesting insights without writing a single line of code. So now let's move to the next step. Now it's time to test your knowledge. For this, you will use data on video games which is present under the menu Play Datasets. Let me briefly show you what is inside this dataset. It contains data related to video game sales. You have the game name, the platform of the game, the genre, publisher, and then you have the sales figures. These sales columns are related to the North American sales, the European Union sales, Japan sales, others as well as global sales. Your mission, if you choose to accept, is to convert this data into powerful insights. And once you are done, you can then go to the next step where I will show you the possible solution. Good luck. There is no unique solution as everyone has a different way to convert data into insights. So here is one possible solution. We can use the histogram for analyzing the global sales. We see that most of the games have a global sales between 0 and 500,000. Using Pareto analysis, we also see that 80% of the games have a sale less than 350,000. Now let's go to the correlation matrix. We see that the global sales have a very high correlation with the North American sales as well as the European sales. However, it is not correlated with the Japan sales. Now this is a very interesting insight, and this would mean that most of the global sale is driven by North America and Europe and not by Japan. Now let's see the outlier analysis. We see that the sales which are higher than approximately 800,000 can be considered as exceptional sale. Now this is related to the very successful games. Now let's move to clustering. Here is the clustering based on the North American sales, the EU sales, the Japan and others. The objective is to make clusters based on sales in different continents. The X and Y axes have been chosen automatically. We see that North American sales and EU sales have been chosen as the best way to visualize the cluster. Now this is in line with our earlier insight that most of the sales are driven by North American sales and EU sales. I've also kept the number of clusters as 3. We see that the blue cluster corresponds to the games with low sales in North America and Europe. And an example of a game in this cluster is Lego Star Wars. The green cluster corresponds to the games with medium sales in North America and in Europe. And an example of a game in this cluster is Dark Souls 3. And the red cluster is for games with very high European sale or a very high North American sale. And an example of a game in this cluster is FIFA 17 or Uncharted 4. So my friends, here is a summary of insights. Most of the global sales are between 0 and 500,000. 80% of the video games have a sell less than 350,000. Most of the global sales are driven by North America and Europe. Games with sale value higher than 800,000 can be considered as successful games. And North America and Europe sales help us to make clusters of video games. Now these are very powerful and interesting insights, and hope you have enjoyed the experience.